Sorry, Chad. Even if... Probably have to question all of your judgment. Effing. Oh, that always feels so good. Welcome, everybody, to the Renegade Realm podcast. Sorry about the technical shit. I love it. Just love it so much. Speaking of love, before we even get started, Lotus Esprit, sharing the love. Thank you so much for gifting 5 channel members. That is so nice of you. You just already on a roll. Yeah, and shout out to everyone here. American Fury, the game adaptation newscast. RSJ fan. I think it's Becca. I think I was on ADS podcast. I think I know your name, if that's okay to say. Anyway, I just doxed you. Sorry. And of course, Lotus Esprit, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And Yadani Kazada, who commented on the members only stalker video and said your lips are very moist. Thank you. And I said, thank you. They were. And now they're not, because I am dehydrated and I'm scared. Anyway, welcome, episode 68. Oh boy, we're almost there. We're almost to the end of the Renegade Realm podcast, because once we hit 69, done. Gotta go out on a high note. So that's how we do it here. Oh man, speaking of high, Assassin, what you been smoking, man?
Next episode, just skip it to 70 and just title it the Blue Balls of the Renegade Realm podcast. Just skip 69.
No, 69 is gonna be a
Nah.
show.
Nah. I know. I haven't been smoking anything, thankfully. But yeah, welcome everybody. Good to see so many familiar faces here, and I'm actually on my Xbox through Discord, so I can't see any of the panel members, so they could be putting something over my profile and I wouldn't know, so
Ooh.
I'll be... Wait, maybe I shouldn't have said that. As far as what
It's
I'm
almost
playing...
like he said that with the intention of being like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Don't do anything.
I feel a special Nick coming on.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Oh, did I say that? Oopsie.
Whatever will I do?
You know what, Damarco? Piss off. Respectfully, piss off.
Hey, check this out. New Yeti mug. And for everyone who's interested, it's only for a low price of $75. No, I have no idea how much it was. It was gifted to me. But look at that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What have you been playing?
Would you look at it?
Would you just look at it?
As far as what I've been playing, I haven't been really playing much, so very, very sad story. I was editing my second video, I think it was Friday, and then my laptop crashed,
Ooh.
and it deleted it. All my hard work, gone.
You don't keep anything on the cloud?
Nah, I didn't think
No
about
cloud?
it until then. No. I didn't think about it until then.
Bummer.
No maidens?
No.
He is maidenless.
Look, Damarco, I don't need your 6-month life story, okay? We get it. We're here to support you, man.
Wait, what?
But,
What? What?
What?
I need to catch you guys off guard.
What?
Okay.
Dictionary, please.
Hey!
Go back.
Okay. Let's back it up, Terry.
Alright. I haven't been really playing much, to be honest. I've just been... Red, you're not gonna believe this. I've been watching the Persona 4 anime. That's what I've been doing.
Okay.
I just have Persona on the brain, okay?
I just don't know why
But,
you hate Persona 5 so much.
I don't hate... Red, I'm gonna kill you. Says the guy who threatened to buy me Payday 3 just so I could download and play it.
I did buy it for you. Digitally.
No, you didn't. No,
I
you
did.
didn't.
Threatened.
I did.
No, you did not.
You own it. Go look. You own
How?
it. Because I did. I bought it with money.
Threatened?
What do you
Threatened.
mean? I didn't get a notification about it.
You don't have to. It just works. Like Todd says.
And now I'm scared. I'm actually gonna go check.
Yeah, go ahead, check.
What have you
The
been playing as I'm
elemental. Hold on, the elemental hero. Yeah, we know Assassin's cracking. It's because he had a computer issue and he's calling in from his Xbox. I didn't feel like typing all of that. So.
Yeah. There you
We
go.
know.
Thank you. I don't know how bad it is. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
It's crackly, but yeah.
Assassin, all he has to do is just send me his mailing address, and I'll send him a camera and a new mic, so he'll be good to go. But
I hate you.
yeah, so
That's not happening.
it is. I'll find you. But that's awesome, man. Watching the Persona 4 anime, that's the that's not the whole game, right? That's like the anime before the game takes place.
No, it's kind of similar to the Persona 5 anime. It covers the whole story, but it cuts out some of the more what's it called? What's it called in storytelling where you cut up the non-important bits? It basically just does that with the whole game. I'm still salty they didn't do it with 3. Yeah, well, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so I'll be
The
trying
abridged
the mission
version?
demo tonight.
It's the abridged version.
Okay.
It's funny. I was actually watching the Sword Art Online abridged version a while ago. But anyway, Holly, what have you been playing?
Well, what a
And why is it
surprise
Call of Duty?
question. I actually haven't played Call of Duty in a week.
Whoa. You're a recovering addict.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
until Black Ops 6 comes out.
Because I buy the Black Cell Big Pass thing every season, and they announced over the last few weeks that all of your purchases from Modern Warfare 2 and 3, which all were together and carried forward, are not carrying forward to Black Ops 6. They will be in Warzone. So I said, cool, I'm not buying Season 5. So I did not buy Season 5. So I don't have to go in and play my weeklies and all of that stuff. So I have been unburdened.
Does that de-incentivize you from buying future things? Like when Black Ops 6 comes around, if they offer, let's just say, the exact same thing, you'll buy it, even though you know a couple of games from now they're going to be like, yeah, sorry, we're not doing that anymore.
No.
You'll still buy it?
Yeah, I will. It de-incentivizes me when I'm getting closer to the next game. I know DeMarco's so disappointed in me all the time, but that's okay. He needs cotton candy, so it's fine. So it de-incentivizes me once they've actually announced that to spend a single dollar in the rest of the game. I'll just play out the season. I have less pressure, right, to earn the rewards in the battle pass that I bought and all that stuff. And I really like Call of Duty, so it's not like I'm like, oh damn it, I've got to go play Call of Duty. Like it's kind of one of those, I got 20 minutes, it's brainless fun, let's go do it, right? But with all of the other games that are coming up, and then there's been a couple games that have come out in the last couple weeks, it's just better for me to kind of set that to the side and get hyped for Black Ops 6. Plus, I've been working my butt off to clear the scoreboard in Fallout 76 this season in 76, and it takes a lot of work. I play that damn thing every day. I clear all the dailies every day, and every week I clear the weeklies, and then I go play the games that I want to play after that, right? Like the stuff that will come and go, right? So I've been playing. I want to play 76, but it's more fun with friends, and right now people really aren't playing 76 very much. I blame Cold Eastwood. So besides that, I've been playing. I tried to play Flintlock. I have to go back and finish Flintlock, and I'm not real happy about that. And then I have been playing Elden Ring. I been cleaning that up. Colt just missed the slander on him. That's good. And then I also I've been playing Nobody Wants to Die, and I've been playing Gears with Red.
Yeah, me. That's me. Yeah. We need to get back into that. We need to get like on a groove.
What's with the lack of
'cause
enthusiasm?
I swear to God, like we could knock out every game.
Yeah,
in,
because
like,
he's never around to play. I'm always like,
I know. I know. It is my fault, and I'm sorry. Shout out to
and Divinity
Oh.
2 with some PC hooligans.
who did that? Who did that? Could it be Damarco? Could it be Damarco?
That might be one. That might be one. Yeah.
Hey Damarco, what you been into besides Divinity 2, huh?
He
That
loves
is one of my
Divinity 2.
favorite. I honestly think, not for every reason, but for a lot of reasons, I think it's better than Baldur's Gate 3. And I know a lot of people did not play Divinity that played and loved Baldur's Gate 3. So it's just an opportunity to play what is arguably the best RPG ever made, and I stand by that, Divinity 2. Like, I think it is that good. And so yeah, that's been the highlight, I think, for the week. But I also stepped back into just doing some solo playthroughs of Civilization 6, because we were doing that a couple weeks ago. Had a lot of fun with it, myself, Holly, Jonas, and I just had a fix in to try out some other heroes. So I did one science victory that I won, and now I'm going completely nuclear. I think it's hysterical. I'm playing as a tribe that starts off just their islanders, and they start off with being able to sail across the water, which, if anybody's ever played Civilization, that's something you unlock over several turns. But they just start with it, and their settler starts in the middle of the ocean, and you have to find land to settle before like you could actually do anything. So I just thought the idea of playing this faction that's geared towards just colonizing everything was absolutely, it would just be hysterical if they went completely nuclear, which is my favorite way to win the game, is by domination. So I'm getting my domination fix. I already took out, within the first 100 turns, I think I took out Sweden. They're gone. She was taking up too much of my land, and she was getting in the way.
Was it the nose girl? Christina?
It was the nose one.
I played
Her
Christina.
nose was taking up too much space, and I had to get her
She's a very
out.
unattractive
She was-
person in history. Yes. Yeah.
And it's funny, when you beat her, she's like, I only ever craved love and drama and poetry, and now I have none of those things. And I'm like, oh, you still got your nose, lady? Like, get out of here, you silly goose. So I've been doing that, and of course, once a year, at least, like usually once a year, or at least every other year, I play through the Arkham games, because it's one of my favorite trilogies. So I beat Arkham Asylum, I beat Arkham City, started dipping my toe in Arkham Origins, which underrated as far as the series goes, which I've said before. That's been
So you're going through
the jam.
like back to back.
Yeah, I think yeah. So I did Asylum, I did City. I think it's best to do them in the order of release, because I like the idea of spoilers for Arkham City. It's been 1,000 years, but I like the idea of when you're playing, and spoilers for Arkham Origins. When you're playing Arkham City, obviously it ends with Joker dying. And then Batman goes into his big brooding phase, where he just disappears and he's gone for months and months. So I really like the psychological concept of Arkham Origins, because there's some like, if you really dive into it, there's inconsistencies. Like, it doesn't line up with the timeline. It doesn't line up with when Tim Drake would be around, mixed with when Nightwing would be around, and there's some small timeline inconsistencies there. So I really like the idea narratively that, and I haven't seen this theory anywhere, this is my own theory, that Arkham Origins is just after the Joker dies, because Arkham Origins deals with when he first meets the Joker. I like the idea of that game being his, Bruce Wayne's, memory of that encounter, and like what he remembers of that, which is why the dates don't line up. And then it fits perfectly narratively after the Joker dies. That's why he's locked himself away, he's being reclusive, but he's reflecting on it. So that game is really just, going through his memories of those encounters and that moment in his career of being the Batman. So really like to play them in the release order for that reason, and not in chronological order. But there you go.
That's exciting, man. You've been in it this week. What are you on vacation?
No, I wish. All of these things. This is what I'm doing now that I haven't been making videos. I've been spending more time actually playing the games that I otherwise, not in these cases, but I otherwise might be talking about.
Wow.
That's good. Yeah, that's good, man. That's fucking awesome. Everyone's been playing so much. I've been playing. I finally finished Stalker, the whole trilogy. I finished it. So, about 100 hours for the whole trilogy, because each game is about 30 hours, and that's not doing everything, and that's a lot of reloading. It's a lot of dying. It's a lot of, okay, you know what? This isn't working. I just need to just turn around and come back and go get better gear, go get better weapons, repair my armor, that kind of stuff. The game is so, you guys, if you love milsim games, that game is for you. It is a really hardcore trilogy, and I actually just put out a video for members only. It's out right now. You can go watch it. It'll go live public tomorrow. About Stalker, about the Stalker delay, about the Stalker trilogy, and what it's all about, just to give you an idea. What's up, Toxic Buttwind? I see every time I see his name, I'm like, yep, I'm distracted now. But yeah, so I've been playing that finally. Yeah, finally, yeah, it doesn't. Finally got that finished, and then I got right back into Life is Strange. Got into Assassin's Creed Syndicate because Colt, he wouldn't stop talking about it. I was like, damn it! So I had to start it, and I never gave that game justice. Like, I have beat that game. I pulled a special Nick, and I skipped every single cutscene years ago whenever I first played it. But I did beat it. I have no idea what the game is about. So I'm going back and doing that game justice right now. Playing that and Dragon Age Inquisition because I had to get Stalker off my plate because I love that game so much. I just wanted to be done with it. And Dragon Age Inquisition, a lot better than I remember. I don't know. I'm just like taking my time with it because it's a very long game, and just sort of enjoying the. I'm like reading stuff and listening to the quests. Listening to the dialogue that involve quests.
Are you skipping out on some of the things though? Like for the thing that always drives me nuts, and I've tried at least. Okay, I've tried at least 4 times. Yeah. I've tried at least 4 times to go back and play Inquisition after I beat it the first time, and I've given up every single time in the hinterlands because the hinterlands sucks. But what happens to me is I get so fixated on all those little like shard things that you find through the telescopes and all the little astrology things that you see, and I get so fixated on collecting every single one, which is the MMO part of the game, that ultimately I just go, I'm wasting my time, this is boring as hell, I'm trying to play a mage, which is arguably the most boring class to play for the reasons we've talked about, like, because I want to do the mage playthrough. Right. And because I want the dialogue choices. So I do all the things that I just absolutely hate, and then surprisingly, I get bored and I hate the game and I leave. So I don't know why. But do you get distracted?
Yes.
Do you get distracted
100%. Yeah. Matter of fact, to the point where I'm doing what I did with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, which I found out are my 2 most played games besides The Witcher, and because I went on True Achievements and I was like, I need to get off of here. It's crazy. Don't ever go on True Achievements if you want to rethink your whole life. But anyway, so I'm doing what I'm doing in those games where I'll see something in the distance and I'm like, oh, there's the quest is right there, so let me just go ahead and just do that. And then I turn around, oh, there's a shiny over there. If something is in my proximity, I have to go ahead and do it because I'm already there. So I'm doing that exact same thing. But there's something about it that's kind of cathartic, and you're like, it's done, it's out of the way. And you know, like 20 hours from now, hopefully the hinterlands will be cleared. That's what I'm trying to do. That way, whenever I do go into the hinterlands, I can just do the quests and just focus on the quests and just. So it's really balanced right now. I'm just doing things as I come across them, but I'm reading stuff, like I said, and really taking in all the emotion that was intended to be there for whatever is happening. Like there was some people that were like locked inside of a house because the Templars were coming to kill these mages. And so they locked themselves in the house, and then the Templars burned down the house, and you can actually have Varric pick the lock and go inside and see it and like read a note that's like telling their family goodbye and stuff. I'm like, God, this is harsh. But I just think before, 10 years ago when the game came out, I was just not you know, it happens all the time. Not in the right mindset to play a game at the time, and then you come back and you're like, man, really good. So I'm enjoying it for what it is. The only thing I dislike about it, not the only thing, one of the big things is that you can't change your class in the middle of anything. Like, you can't even test it. Like, I wanted to be a very agile character jumping around, but I didn't want to use daggers, and it just doesn't really give you a whole lot of choice there. So I'm sword and board right now. It does allow you to choose. If you choose a warrior, you can choose between a two-handed sword and sword and board. So that's like the only options that you get. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. I did play Starfield for a little bit, and I was like, I have to stop, because as soon as I start playing Starfield, I'm like, it's over. No games are getting played other than Starfield. AI just sucks me in, and I just cannot stop. What else? I'm looking at my my game thing right now. I can see it with the powers that I have in my hand. It's called a controller. There was something else.
I've been playing a lot of Power Wash Simulator again. Too.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, just chilling out, getting
Yeah.
that the satisfaction feeling.
Get clean.
I finished the Alice in Wonderland expansion, which is like my favorite
For Power Wash?
fairy tale story thing. Yeah, they had an Alice in Wonderland expansion, so I bought it and I
Okay.
finished it. Alice and all of her friends are super clean.
That's fantastic.
But-
Hey,
Did you
real
do the
quick.
SpongeBob one?
No, but I do have it. I just bought it when I bought Alice, so they were all on sale.
That was just
So
hysterical.
By the way,
Yeah.
real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone in chat. There's 25 people, I think, in chat right now. I really, really appreciate everyone showing up and hanging out. And I see some new names. Well, names that I'm familiar with, but not used to seeing them in my chat. If you guys are from the ADS podcast, let me know. Say uwu. That way I know, or something. That way I know that's where you're from. Really, really appreciate the support. Had a great time last week.
Don't say that.
And don't say what? Uwu?
Wait, just don't. Just
Okay, I'm sorry.
tell us it.
Is that triggering you sexually?
No, definitely not. No.
Oh, okay, sorry. I just didn't want to get you riled up in the
smelled
middle
it.
of
No, no,
a...
no.
Oh, sorry, Damarco. I'm sorry.
Not.
Oh man. So anyway, yeah. So it's been a good week. A lot of fun stuff happened. Look. Let's just get this out of the way, because chat is just loves the idea of The Last of Us. Last of Us 3 and Spider-Man 3. First of all, I just pulled this from Twitter. Saw it in our chat, and I pulled it from Twitter. I don't know where the hell this actually comes from, so if you guys know where it comes from, we can start with that. Spider-Man 3 and Last of Us 3 are in development. Big surprise, everyone. So Last of Us 3 won't come. The new IP from Naughty Dog will come first, and then Last of Us 3 will come and fail. But does anyone even know where the hell this comes from, or is this just some dude on Twitter saying stuff?
On Twitter. I mean, we already know that Part 3 for The Last of Us and Spider-Man 3. We know they're coming. Spider-Man 3 is the only one I actually even care about a little bit, but Last of Us Part 3, I don't care. Just give me that new IP and let's just get this. I'm more
When is
excited for what
Wolverine
Sucker
coming
Punch
out?
and if I remember correctly, they're projecting
25, right?
2026? No, 6 or
25,
7.
26.
No, 26,
Okay, then how
7.
is Spider-Man? That tweet says, okay, so 26, 27 for Wolverine. How is Spider-Man 3 coming 27, 28?
I have no
Do they
idea.
have multiple teams?
If I remember
sure they
correctly,
do.
they're split into.
But
They have 2 studios. So they have one in California, which does Spider-Man, which did the first one, the second one, and Miles Morales, and then they have a team in North Carolina that normally does Ratchet and Clank. That also used to do Resistance. Fun fact. But I mean, they have 2 teams. But remember, it was also in the leaks that they're doing a standalone Venom game, similar to Miles Morales. So how they're gonna do Spider-Man 3, Venom, the next Ratchet and Clank, and Wolverine, I have no idea.
So
I don't
was
know
that
which is
team
coming
in
first.
place, though?
What's that?
Was that team in place though? Because I was under the I thought they had I was pretty confident that they had 2 teams, which you're saying they have multiple teams. So I was pretty confident that that was in place for Wolverine, right? So theoretically, Wolverine would have been releasing sooner than 2026 or 2027
It
based on when
was-
Spider-Man came out, which also would mean that Spider-Man 3, which makes that projection for Spider-Man 3 sound a bit more reasonable until you said Wolverine's possibly as late as 2027. when they
Wolverine
had
was
2
supposed to
teams working on
be
it already.
Wolverine was supposed to be 25, but I mean, projected from when they announced it, right? And what they saw, it was looking like it was going to be 25. I wouldn't say that it's out of the realm of possibility that it's still in 25, but it could very well be, moving into 26, especially with the strikes and stuff. Although the voice acting may be recorded already, but you never know. But Insomniac, they've been putting in the work for Sony real hard, so they know how to
The most recent
push games quickly.
Yeah.
The most recent leaks that I was looking at when this whole shebang happened in December, the release order for what it was leaked at, again, things change. We all need to accept that video game development is rough. Plans can change. Sometimes even games can switch places. I mean, we don't know. But the release order, from what I remember, it was Venom comes first, 2025. Then it was Wolverine, 2026 or 7. Then it was Spider-Man 3 in 2028, if I remember correctly, and Ratchet and Clank, the next one in 2029. Then afterwards, it's the X-Men, which Sony managed to, again, they managed to negotiate with Disney about that. Don't know how, but they did. They must have paid a shit ton of money. But that's what the release order was when I last looked at it. Like I said, things probably changed. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, Assassin. The other aspect of it too is, remember that they were talking about the fact that these particular games were not going to be these like full in-depth releases anymore, right? They were talking about doing these more like pared down, phased releases of story and things like that, right? So it is possible,
A horrible
right?
idea, and I hope it fails right in I hope they fall right on their face if that's the release strategy they go with.
Oh yeah,
I think it has right applications, but it's how it's done and how much they charge for it.
Well, you also buy Call of Duty skins, so
I remember that leak. Okay, that jab at Holly aside, what I remember about that particular strategy was yeah, it
really
was
mean.
That was actually kind of
No, it's okay.
But-
Let me just go. I'm sorry. You go ahead, Assassin.
I deserve it.
Sorry.
It's all right. I was
Well, what
giving
the
him
plan
dog water in the
was-
green room.
What the plan was, Spider-Man 3 would be split into 2 intentionally and be charged $50 each. Or if they add a multiplayer component, it would still be $50 each. So technically, the whole Spider-Man 3 experience would be $50 for part 1, $50 for part 2, and if they decide to do it, another $50 for multiplayer.
And PC will just
$100
wait and get the whole
for a
thing for
game.
$50 later.
150. 150.
$150 for a game.
Just for one.
$100 to get the single player game. That is like, if they listen, just the story implications of them breaking into a part 1 and part 2. Look at Across the Spider-Verse. That's the newer one. That great movie. Loved it. And I love everything. And some people would disagree with me. That's fine. But I despise that movie because of the way it ends. And now there's this gigantic wait until the next one comes out. And when both parts are out, I'll love it, right? But it just ends on that massive, absurd cliffhanger. And to break up Spider-Man 3 Part 1, Spider-Man 3 Part 2, they would almost inevitably have to do something similar. And that is just a really poor taste. But then you're also charging $100 to get the whole game. I hope they fail.
But what if each part was like
because that means
what if
jobs.
each part
That means jobs.
What if each part was like 25 hours each? Or 20 hours each?
20 hours each. I would have to. It gets
To me, that seems more than fair.
Are we talking?
They
I'm
charge
so
$50
confused
for
right
Miles
now.
Morales.
messy.
I'm so confused.
Was that about 25 hours? Miles Morales?
So
No.
completion, if you do 100% completion, it took about, I think, between 10 to 12 hours.
But that's
Just the story
I
was
think
like
it was
5 or
$50.
6.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just fuck up the whole flow of the show real quick. What the
'Cause you
fuck are
weren't
we
listening.
talking about?
I
Welcome
saw
to
it
the
all over your
Renegade Realm
face.
podcast. Where
I
our-
saw you.
okay,
I saw you chatting, and I was like, "This guy is not listening at all."
At all. No, because I was like, let's talk about Spider-Man 3. Where did that come from? And then I'm like, let me just answer some chats real quick. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Real quick, we're talking about Call of Duty now?
Would you buy
Oh,
if Spider-Man 3 released in 2 parts that were each like 20 hours
Okay.
for $50 a piece, but to get the whole game then, because part 1 and part 2 would almost certainly have to end on a cliffhanger, right? So to get the whole game, you're spending $100 for a game to get $100 for 50 hours of gameplay for Spider-Man 3.
No.
And then separately, they might charge you $50 to get multiplayer added
Where is
into
this
that.
coming from? Are we just talking hypothetical? Is that what?
We're
talking
talking about
hypothetical.
one of the old leaks.
Because
from-
We
that
talked
was
about
like
an
a few months
entire article online that you missed that laid
good.
all of this out.
Okay, good. No, then
That's
I
what
wouldn't-
Sony wants to do. But the backlash from
Um,
everybody who read that article was
Your face
holy
is frozen.
crap.
I know. It's a perfect time. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's fine. That's what it looked like right now. For fuck's sake, you guys keep talking. Let me fix this shit. Chat, I love you.
Yeah, anyway, I think now that putting that into perspective, both of them were like 25 hours. That's 50 hours of gameplay. That's a decent amount, but for $100, I don't, because I mean, look, I hate to use it as an example, but Skyrim is hundreds, if not thousands of hours of content, even technically before mods, and that's a $60 game. So $100.
It's kind of a weird.
for the luxury of playing Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
I love him too,
My
but
favorite superhero.
we have to draw a line somewhere.
Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of one of those weird areas, though, right? Because they could easily. I don't think it's going to be that much gameplay or that much content to be. You know what I mean? But if it was, they could easily just split it into a 3 and 4 and charge you $70 each.
Stop! Don't give him ideas. Don't give him any ideas, Holly, please.
But I'm talking about if you had
need-
that much content. That's, you know.
Oh, they
You
might
would
be
need
listening.
a lot. You would need a lot more content, and honestly, I would actually be more okay with that, because for a couple reasons. One, separating a game into a part 1 and part 2. The thing that I'm arguably more scared of than Insomniac doing it is the standard that sets for other studios. Like, if you think that an EA is not going to look at that and just run with it and say, well, how can we make this even more monetized? Like, what if we put battle passes in each of them, but they're separate and the cosmetics don't carry over, so people have to, like, just instantaneously, other companies are going to run with that philosophy, and that terrifies me even more. If you give an inch, they'll take a mile. We've seen that time and time and time again. Look at how horrible Overwatch 2's monetization is, because people want loot boxes back. That's how bad that is, right? So that scares me even more. But what I will also say is, if they're going to break it up that way, what that would mean is both of those games have to be very similar. You'd have to see something like a Fallout 3 and a Fallout New Vegas, or a Batman Arkham City and a Batman Arkham Origins, where they're both more or less the same game. Or a Spider-Man and a Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? That would have to be the way that those games are laid out. So if you're telling me, hey, we're going to charge you $70 for Spider-Man 3 and then $70 for Spider-Man 4, I would prefer that, because at least then we know, theoretically speak, we don't know. But ideally, Spider-Man 3 and 4 would have enough innovation between them as far as gameplay, game mechanics, the world, the detail in it, and all those other factors, the combat that would differentiate itself as a proper sequel, and you're not going to see that with Part 1. Spider-Man 3, Part 1, and Spider-Man 3, Part 2. It's not going to happen.
And look at big companies like Rockstar. Remember when Rockstar, or Take-Two, we talked about this before, where they said for the amount of content that's in Grand Theft Auto, we should be charging $100 for this game.
No.
To DeMarco's point, Skyrim, thousands of hours of content, even before mods. This is why, like, I don't have a problem with live service games that are at a fair price that have a lot to offer. So, for example, Call of Duty gets away with this because it's so popular and it's really, it's quality. Call of Duty is the best feeling shooter of all time, and I feel like Call of Duty will always be until something else. Like whenever Titanfall came out, that was when people go, oh shit, dude, this is like Call of Duty. It feels really fucking good. Respawn nailed it. Like, it feels really great. Call of Duty gets away with it because of the popularity. And so with so Holly puts in 200 hours into Call of Duty after season 1 comes out. Okay, she's already put 100 hours, 200 hours, $100, and she keeps putting in $20.
Holly?
She has way more than that. I'm just being nice. I'm just saying.
Fuck?
I'm just saying, like, that she's got her money's worth. So with these big games, DeMarco, to your point, the standard that sets for, think about live service single player games, a la what Bethesda is starting to do with Creations. So we have a single player game, and then we have Creations where they're charging for add-ons and whatnot. I think that there is a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it.
They're horribly valued.
Right, and I hope that they work on that, because I agree. Like, dude, I have almost 200 hours in Starfield, and it's gonna just keep going up and up. So for me, if I spend $70 on Starfield after 160 hours, you don't think that that it's not fair for me to put $5 here, $6 here, $7 there after that much time spent? I don't know. It just depends on what it is, I think. So I agree with you there. But $5.
Red, let me.
Yeah, tell me.
No, I was just gonna ask you a question. So what you're saying is live service for single player games. Let me just throw you a question here.
Throw me a bone.
One of the big things about Halo Infinite specifically, I've been saying this for years now. Halo Infinite, the campaign, it's probably one of the best since Halo 3, and I can actually say that now, since I've played all the campaigns. But the problem is, the multiplayer is popping off, but there's been nothing about the story. We got at least a High Buster DLC for Gears 5. That was at least something. But we've got nothing campaign-wise for Halo Infinite since launch. So, my question is, let's just throw out a hypothetical. What if 343 comes out every, let's say, a year and a half, right? With a 10 to 15 hour mini campaign. But they charge like $30-$40. And they keep on going and going until the next mainline Halo game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would be acceptable?
Chapters.
Or not?
You just do chapters.
Kind of like chapter. Yeah, chapters. So like here's something for you that's high quality. It's cheap. It's gonna hold you over until we're done with the next mainline Halo game. What if we set a standard for that instead? Like,
yeah.
Are you
It'd be more than
would that be
30
acceptable?
When you say that, are you talking about like Fallout New Vegas or an Arkham Origins? Because that's what those games were, and that wasn't here's a $5 add-on that gives you 20 minutes of content. And
I'm talking about
like,
something that's bigger than DLC, but smaller than something like Miles Morales. Somewhere in between there. That's at the right price.
Okay, so if you are talking of Fallout New Vegas, then
kind of, yeah. Not exactly a mainline one, but it's
not that big
though. It's not big, but it's not small. Something right in the middle at just the right price, enough to hold whatever fan base that you're deciding on. Like it's Halo, it's Gears, it's Spiderman, God of War, something like that.
I know what you
I
mean.
personally don't know with development times getting longer. I get what you're saying. I don't know personally with development times getting longer if you can achieve that.
I
with
know,
something
it was a
that's not
hypothetical. I'm not saying you could do it in like 18
Yeah,
months.
yeah, yeah.
Something like that. Maybe have like a separate team focused on that, while the big team is focused on the mainline games. That's what I'm
Yeah,
proposing.
I think the solution is a New Vegas type experience. You know, especially like I
spin-off?
said, especially with development times getting longer. I think that if you're going to put in the time and the effort to say, hey, we're doing this like larger than like exactly what you're explaining, right? Larger than DLC, but not quite as large as a full title. It just sounds to me like you might as well just make the full title, right? And make this new experience. And it gives you the opportunity to introduce new mechanics, the way Arkham Origins did, the way that New Vegas introduced the bullet, the bullet crafting, and the relationships with the factions that Fallout 3 really didn't have all that well. So I think that's great, but I don't think that's what we're gonna get because studios want to do more while charging more with giving less. Is the trend.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
his
know, it
point
was
is
just-
exactly like Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Where like once a year they come out with a big expansion, right? That brings players back and then
But
they
those
go do the
expansions,
things.
But those expansions are
when you
hit or
do
miss,
those
though.
expansions, out of curiosity, is the gameplay loop pretty much the same? Like, go through this thing, like this dungeon. Here's the big boss at the end. Kill it.
Yeah.
Get loot.
But it's
So-
an MMO, right? Like, or it's like it's
Yeah.
like, but this would be a story, right? Like almost like how they release Life is Strange, right? With story, they release like 3 or 4 chapters, right? And then don't they do like a chapter every so often? There are some games that have that like delayed
Yeah, I was thinking
content,
maybe like a Halo Infinite mini DLC campaign for like $20-$30. Like,
It
we
would
see
just
Master
be part
Chief
of the
and the
story,
weapon.
right? Yeah.
yeah, and Esparza, and they go off to a different biome, and they continue fighting the Banished, that sort of thing. Like maybe 2-3 chapters. That's it. That's all I really need. If you can pump that out at least once every couple of years, that's fine. Just give me something that's like as big as Hive Busters with the same amount of quality. That's all I ask.
Okay.
That's all I ask, 343.
Okay. Listen.
That's all I ask.
Okay. Let me look through chat here. Elemental Hero, the Shadowling Dragon Wolf King says, but it worked with Infinite War. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I couldn't interrupt earlier, but I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. Lower Damarco's volume. Okay, I'll do that. Just a little bit. Boom. Yeah, he was like way up. He was like way up. All right, that should be a little better. Is that better? Do it again, Damarco. Yeah, that's a good way to test. Okay. Colt says Halo is a product. Oh, I'm sorry. Xbox needs. There you go. Xbox needs to let Halo rest until they are able to give it to another studio, and I agree with that. Halo is a product of the early 2000s. Yeah, a lot of these studios need to be given. Like, we always talk about Obsidian. I know people are like, let Obsidian do Obsidian things. I'm just using Obsidian as an example whenever we talk about Bethesda games. Just allow people to do different things. Give it a breath of fresh ass, as I always say. Breath of fresh air. Just switch it up a little bit.
I'm gonna say this until my voice cracks again.
Yeah?
If you were expecting Microsoft to make Obsidian like Bethesda, you're a fucking idiot. They are
okay.
Obsidian for a reason. Let it go. Alright, continue.
Okay. The Elemental Hero Shadowling Dragon like Wolf King says, yeah, but here's a problem. How long will we see a video games crash? Many gamers are going back to older games because of problems with newer gamers. Yeah, it's a generational issue.
That's not
Yeah.
that's not the only reason though.
It's not the only reason.
It's
but hey,
also yeah.
Lotus Esprit says
I think-
1898 is my favorite Batman. Although, have you seen the Batman Jack the Ripper anime movie? So good. What's it called? Oh,
Gotham by
DeMarco.
Gaslight,
Oh,
you mean?
Yes,
Gotham
by
by
Gaslight.
Gaslight?
So good. Oh my god, it was so good. But it should not have been that good. Neither should
I
Ninja
have not seen
Batman.
that yet.
Ninja Batman is so good. I have
Batman
no right
Ninja?
to be. It's
You're
so
getting a
dumb.
sequel.
I know. I was
You
like,
need
what the fuck?
you need
Anyway,
you need to be in the mindset to watch that. Like, just
For
I'm gonna see
sure.
something completely. I watched that thinking it was gonna be something serious, and then I was disappointed. But then I watched it a second time, like, let me watch this goofball movie, and I had the time
It's
of my
fun.
life.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Sorry. I just want to make sure I'm interacting with there. I really appreciate everyone being here. It means a lot. It means everything. And again, there's a video up right now for channel members. I'm just getting used to the whole channel membership thing. Early access to that right now. So whenever the show ends, if you're interested in Stalker, that video's up right now. The game adaptation newscast says if Christopher Nolan actually did revive the Halo show, I'm sure you guys heard about this. Should it be a hard reboot or a continuation or a film instead of a show? I personally think that it should be an adaptation of the trilogy. It has nothing to do with the show. I think they should actually do it right. So for anyone not knowing what the hell I'm talking about, Jonathan Nolan, I think Christopher Nolan's brother, is the one that said that he would love to do an adaptation of the Halo trilogy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When was this?
It was a while
week
ago.
or so ago. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the fuck?
And this is the guy, by the way, if anyone who doesn't know in chat, this is the guy that did the Fallout TV show. So if anyone's going to do a video game adaptation right, yeah, give it to that
You
man.
have a fetish for power armors or something?
He must. Yeah, big. God, that character bugged me. He creeped me out.
Yeah, he's doing Doom Guy next.
That would be so.
Wait.
Man, can you imagine? Oof, God.
Well,
Give
that.
him all the
that-
games.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
Jonathan
Damarco may be
Nolan.
onto something here.
Power armor.
We already have peak cinema with the existing first-person Doom movie, which I think is Dwayne Johnson. Peak.
It is.
Masterpiece.
What is happening?
What's that,
Donnie?
Doom movie?
You guys are cracking me up. Colt says Holly is the type.
Don't
to-
read
I'll read it. Wait.
Okay. I don't know. It's fine.
Holly
it's
is the
fine.
type to use Greek yogurt to wax her knees on Ultima.
She's like, this is working. It's working.
it needs some
Full names on my
probiotics.
laptop.
Exactly. You gotta get it up there in the muffler. You know.
Hey,
Get
hey,
everything-
Damarco, can you use the Holly soundbite, please, since I can't do it?
Wow.
Oh, that's right. Assassin has no.
I
Has no.
have
He
no
has no
access.
power here.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
Ah.
You
Ha
have no power.
There you go. Wow. We go wow. Let's see. Elemental Shadow says, DeMarco, yes, it's because a couple of news articles even said younger generations are going back to older games. Plus, with all the news in the news in the video game industry, we could see a crash soon. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I don't believe in
Why?
in crashes like that. For a couple of reasons. One, like, just great real life example is people have been saying, well, there's going to be a housing market crash for like years, and it's just not coming. What are you guys like? Oh, you guys owe me so
I'm
much.
just-
Is that
yeah.
what you're left?
because I can hear Colt's voice go, "You guys owe me some."
Okay,
Hate
Colt,
so
Red will
much.
get you a back rub.
Yeah.
Holly will get you some Mountain Dew from Taco Bell. I don't know what me and DeMarco can do for you, homie. I don't
Okay.
know.
So listen, before I forget, let me take a drink as I say, everyone be quiet. It's perfect
Oh.
time to take a drink. That's the whole. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen the meme where she's like, "I don't know who needs to hear this," and just starts eating.
Holly,
Anyway.
what did you do to Colt? Jesus.
I don't know what's happening.
What did you do?
Colt Avery over here.
Colt Avery.
Stephen
the
Avery's
hell?
the jackass who says
Oh,
I'm
he's
driving me
becoming.
Colt
Okay,
Run.
gotcha. Understood.
And I
okay,
look
listen.
like a shoplifter and what were the
Yeah, it's
other
great.
things? He had some other crazy ones. It's good.
He's getting out of hand.
Good.
He's getting out of hand.
Did you
listen.
know that Stephen Avery is apparently an accused killer in prison in Wisconsin? And there's a whole Netflix documentary about
Yes.
this guy. know that.
How did we go from video
Yep,
games
that just
to
came.
murder?
He looks like Bear Grylls, but I mean he's old.
The picture, Stephen Avery's picture is
Oh, it is.
Stephen Avery.
There you go. There he is. He's just trying to acclimate back into society. Come on, you know. He's trying to.
We got a band cult.
Holly is the type of to listen to Mambo number 5 on repeat. Okay. It was super popular. Welcome to 2014, Holly. A lot. All right, listen. I really want to. Okay. I'm just gonna ask. I'm gonna. No one interrupt me. As if anyone does. Okay. If you put 200 hours into a game that you spent $70 on, okay, 200 hours, you've only spent $70, and after 200 hours, my question is, at what point is it okay to keep charging someone more? We're looking at games, Damarco, like Skyrim, where you spend $60, everything else is free. Modding, whatever else you want to do with it, even the vanilla game, it's free. My question is, at what point is it okay to start charging more after 200 hours and you've already spent $70? So I spend 200 hours with a vanilla skin for a gun. I can't change the skin at all. After 200 hours, $5 to change the skin. Do you still think that that's bad? Damarco? Okay, why?
Damn.
Yeah. First off, I think, look, the thing is, a lot of these studios that are going to come into question, we're not talking about some small indie studio. You're not talking about, like, if Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? And I know that, you know, some of you don't like that game, and or some people
It's
don't
Red's
like that
favorite game. He secretly told me it's his favorite game.
But, well, it is a very good game. But if we're not talking about, like, and that's an indie studio, right? That made a big game that, if you look at it, the scope and the scale and the ambition behind that project was a lot. And so Kingdom Come Deliverance comes out and says, hey, we made this game. It didn't sell that well. A lot of you guys have gotten tons and tons of hours out of it. So we're releasing this smaller update that we're charging a lot for, to try to help out. That, to me, is a very different story than Bethesda Game Studios, one of the, like, most well-known developers in the gaming industry, that sold millions upon millions upon millions of copies on releases, re-releases, ports, and all this other nonsense, turning around and saying, hey, or Call of Duty, saying we're gonna, one of the biggest gaming franchises on the planet, saying we're gonna charge you $20 to get a single skin for your character, your gun, to make your little name tag when you kill someone pretty, and to put a little dingle-dangle charm on your weapon. Activision is not hurting for money, whether you put 10 hours into it or 5,000 hours into it, right? These studios don't need to do that. So at that point, they're charging because they know that they can con some people to get some extra money out of it. And it's not going to the developers, and it's not helping their future games, right? It's just going right back into their pockets as additional revenue, because all that money that would get reinvested is realistically has already been made by the sales of the title. So
Okay.
I don't think that there's a situation where saying, hey, well, you guys did spend a lot of time, so we should charge you more for it. I don't agree with that sentiment at all.
Okay.
And I think it just opens the door to players getting more nickeled and dimed.
Well, okay, I can safely say, I have played many single player games that have tons and tons of content that just in the vanilla game it just doesn't end for me. Starfield is, I guess we'll use Starfield as an example. After the amount of time that I put into the game, what is the resolution that we would have to come to support studios that only have single player live service? So essentially, how are you going?
We shouldn't
Do
have
you just
single-player
want them
live
to
service.
market it better? Do you want the game to just sell better? And that's how these studios, because games are getting more and more expensive, and that's why we're seeing so many indie studios thrive right now, especially like in Game Pass, because people, people want a little palate cleanser, little Game Pass game, little indie game every now and then. How are we supposed to make sure that these studios get their money back when everyone loves their game so much, and then they come out with a little, like you said, a little keychain dangling off your nuts or whatever? That's not okay. Especially with a game like Call of Duty that is full price, and it's a live service game, and it has a single player game, and it has the free to play Warzone with cosmetics and stuff like that. It's a difficult thing to try to parse between like support and
The conversation
success, right?
changes. The conversation changes, though. We say it's a difficult thing. The conversation needs to change a lot when you look at how much revenue a lot of these companies make from these titles, right? It's not as though like you look at Starfield. It's not as though Starfield's walking away and they're like, "Well, we made $100. Like we did so good. How are we gonna survive next week?" Right? They're making millions and millions and tens of hundreds of millions of dollars from these titles in profit. So,
But how do you continue to support them? Is what I'm saying. How do you continue to support the further development and expansion?
The way that they always have. They've always reinvested these. If you look at something like Skyrim, they made the profit for their game. They sold it they sold it multiple times, but at the time they sold it once. Then they said, okay, we take some of that money and we invest it into, we have our profit, right? Everybody's happy. They get bonuses. Then they turn around and they say, we're going to put some of that towards Hearthfire, which is a smaller scale DLC that they charge at a more premium price, which it was still really, really cheap. But it has less content that they charge a little bit more for. That was fair. I thought Hearthfire was very fairly priced. They say we're going to work on our big expansion DLC, which was Dragonborn. The Dragonborn DLC that took you to new content. And they had one in the middle of those two, which was the Dawn Guard, that said, hey, we add some new items to the game, but here's this whole new faction, this whole new questline, choice, consequence, new locations to visit, new NPCs, lots of that. So, right. And that's how it's worked for years and years and years and years. And I think that to say, well, games are getting bigger and development time is taking longer and development costs are going up, that's all true. But I don't think the solution is necessarily to say, well, we have to start charging players more. And I don't think players should just let a studio walk all over them, that we should bend over and say, yes, daddy, please charge me more so I can play your game. That's not the right response.
Right.
Especially when you have things like tools that companies are laying off employees for AI, tools that are making this process so much faster and so much better, and companies are laying team members off despite reporting record profits year after year after year after year after year.
For sure.
Maybe not that,
Yeah,
but
I can't argue with that.
the past minimum 2 years, the gaming industry has reached more revenue than any other media industry, period. So when you have that compounded with everything else I'm saying, right, the solution, if you still are finding revenue issues, is to cut back the scope of your games, which nobody's going to fault you for. You don't need to make this game that's going to be 10,000 hours worth of content and developing in this world that's way bigger than you could possibly populate, right? The solution isn't to keep going bigger. And that's why indie games are getting the attention they're getting, is also because since they're smaller in scope, they're more focused. And I think the end product is a lot better as well. So have your Obsidian studios that are making these smaller experiences like Avowed and like the Outer Worlds. That's healthy, like Grounded. That's incredibly healthy. That's the right solution, not scaling up to the point where they need to charge $1,000 or $100 for a game, which they're already doing because they're looping in their expansions and their their premium deluxe editions. So games are already $100, whether we want to say it or not.
I guess that you made like fantastic points. I think just at the end of the day, whenever somebody buys a game, these type of microtransactions and whatever you want to call them, in these kind of games typically aren't targeted towards the people that are just now jumping in. Unless, like you said, it is looping in an expansion. The deluxe edition, the gold edition, the early access, the fucking Ubisoft games. They always do that shit with their get through two hours early access, and people are like, ha ha ha, and then they buy it no matter what. But I think that this kind of when I say like their idea of supporting and trying to get a little an extra buck to make content, these people are still making these people are still working for free essentially to add content, and then they're gonna have to charge for that. I think that $20, what is it, Holly? $20 for a battle pass in Call of Duty, or is it $10? What is it now?
They have 3 tiers. The one's free, one's 15 or 20, and the other one's 30.
Jesus. Okay. You know, Call of Duty is not a good example.
They follow in Apex's. How long before? Well, but how long before they follow in Apex's footsteps and they say, "Oh, we're splitting it into 2 parts, so we're cutting the season in half. You got to buy it twice now." Congratulations.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's just really hard to try to like parse corporate greed versus like what we're actually doing with developers, because now the gaming industry is the biggest and most profitable industry in the entertainment industry.
It's greed. It's
greed. And it always will be. But I guess my question is, like, where does it come from? Like, whenever someone goes to Todd Howard and says, exactly, when Todd Howard says we want to implement creations, and then ZeniMax says, okay, I don't care what you're doing. Is it going to make more money? Is it going to make us more money? Us, the big people with the suit and ties and the terrible cologne, is it going to make us more money? And he goes, yeah, we'll figure it out. And then they had to deal with the pricing issue. If this $5 DLC that everyone, no, I'm just saying, like a $5 DLC that adds a skin or whatever, how much do you think that they should cost? Do you think that they should just always be free?
I think they should just be like, look, we're talking about, and I know people come at me because I think like a boomer on all of this, like old man yelling at clouds. But I mean, all of us grew up when all of this stuff was just included in the game. And you know what they did when they were like, hey, we need more stuff for the game? They did one of 2 things. They released an expansion for it that they charged you for, and you got a lot of stuff in it. Or they said, hey, let's make a new game. And they would make a new game. And there was all that stuff that was included. And the benefit of that is that new game came with technical improvements, gameplay improvements. Yeah, you didn't like every single change that they made. Battlefield 3, like 2 to Battlefield 3, there's some things that I'm sure people didn't like or whatever, right? So I would prefer the return of map packs, Yodani, if I'm being brutally honest. The only problem with that is splitting the player base. But I think at this point you have, like, again, the size of the gaming audience has grown so much since map packs were a thing that I honestly think you have to worry a lot less about how much that splits up the community. I'm just saying. I think stop thinking, and you say stop thinking about the past, it's the future, but why should we all sit down and willingly accept a future where we get charged more for infinitely less?
Yeah, and I think I do agree with you. I do agree with you on that point, because right now the biggest fear is gas games. You know, live service games are just going to end up taking over even single player games, and that's why a lot of people are upset with Bethesda specifically. And guys in chat, I'm just using Bethesda as an example because I love Starfield so much, and like Fallout 76 is free to play, right? Holly just talked about she wants to clear out the.
It's in Game Pass. It's not free to play.
Oh, thank you for correcting me. Yes, it's full price, right? Or was it 50? Or is it full price?
It was a $60 game when it came out, but
okay.
Now you can pick, if you wanted to own it, you can pick it up for $15, $20,
okay.
Whatever.
Thank you
Which
for
one?
correcting me. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was asking which one was full price at launch?
76.
76.
Oh, yeah, that disaster.
You're done. I love it. Anyway, chat. Man, that was a great debate. I love that. Damarco, I love you. You're so smart, and I hate your logic, and I hate that. I hate it. It's great. Do you guys, Holly, Assassin, do you have any thoughts about everything we just yelled at each other about?
Fallout 76?
Okay. Assassin, what game are you playing right now?
I'm not playing a game. I was busy doing something in real life. I thought I said it, but I
Masturbating?
guess not.
Okay, no, it's fine.
No.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Getting
It's
ready
fine.
for that 69th episode.
Yeah, girl, that's all we're gonna be doing all whole show. No, that's weird. Okay.
No, what were you guys
No.
talking about while I was busy doing something important?
No, it's fine. We're gonna move on. It was a great discussion. I just wanted to. I was feeling passionate about it, so I wanted to talk about it and get it out of me. Get it out of me.
I think I have a different opinion than Damarco, but I understand where he comes from, and
Say it.
I'm not saying
please.
he's not wrong.
Getting nowhere
No,
with Red. Holly, what were you guys talking about?
I just they were talking about the price. Like, at what point do you feel like it's fair for you to have to pay more for a game? Right.
That
for your
discussion.
experience.
Okay.
It
I thought
is.
they were discussing whether Fallout 76 was a good or bad game.
No.
No, it's a
No.
great game.
Oh, thank God.
I just like, it's a tough thing, right? Because it's hard because there's a lot of different games of varying size, varying difficulty, varying quality, whatever. But there's somebody who loves every game, right? So like, Inside is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's a very short experience, right? But it doesn't mean that it's not as valuable to me as something that, I've put 60, 70 hours in, and it's okay, right? Like, I have more of a memory of Inside than I do that. So it's hard to put an intrinsic value on a game just because of the length of time that you've played it. But I do also understand, like, we're very spoiled when we get these like massive, huge games that have a lot of content for one price, like an Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry or a Bethesda game, right? Like, there's a lot of Elden Ring, perfect example, right? Massive amount of content in the base game, and then for $40 you get this expansion that's bigger than probably most of the games that we've gotten that are single player games the entire year, right? So what?
Baldur's Gate 3 is another example, if you want
Yep.
to think about it. It may have
Yep.
been in early access for a certain amount of time, but
So I don't think there's
Everyone
ever
keeps
an
saying that,
issue.
Making money.
I
by
don't
the
think
way.
there's ever a
I'm just saying Baldur's Gate BG3 making money during early access and then finally going to the public and exploding.
yeah. So I don't think
That's a
there's
whole other thing.
it's what the developer wants to give you, and DeMarco's right. Not every game needs to be the size of Elden Ring or BG3 or whatever, right? Because there are plenty of very good quality games that are smaller, more confined experiences that develop the right amount of gameplay for the story that's told. And they all
Yeah.
have an intrinsic value. So, but I also don't see an issue with skins in Call of Duty or skins in Apex or skins in Fortnite or any of that kind of stuff, because you choose to buy those things. They are not required. And if anything is put in, like, that whole drama that came up with Dragon's Dogma 2 about, the port crystals or whatever other things there were that allowed you to play faster, right? Or allowed you to have some more quality of life issues within the game, then you start to get into a different territory. And I think that's a much different discussion. But there's nothing wrong with them putting microtransactions in there that are completely voluntary, because if some person wants to buy them, then so be it. And they don't do that in Starfield until they've started to add the store stuff, and that's a whole nother thing. But you don't have to buy any of those things, right, to play the
it
game.
all started with that goddamn horse armor. So we
Thanks,
can practically
Bethesda.
blame
Kind of, yeah.
Bethesda for all this.
But ultimately, DeMarco,
love
you've
that
got
you
to.
don't have to buy it because the fact, like, no, you don't have to buy it, but they are taking things away. They are mitigating the experience that other players can have so that they can sell it. They are.
No,
like
they're not.
they're not. When look, you play a game like look at Fortnite. Look at Fortnite and that game, I'm sorry, but that game revolves around its skins. And you feel they intentionally build it. You cannot tell me, this is objectively true, that they psychologically manipulate players by wanting to buy the skins, because 60% of that game, arguably, is having the skins and being able to show off your character and the dance moves and the emotes and the gliders and the special effects and all the flamboyant things that they throw into it. Like, that is part of the experience, is how you are visually represented in these games. And they intentionally do that because it's psychological manipulation. So when you play as with the standard base skin, not everybody, but a lot of people will feel pressured into buying it because they feel as though they're not getting the full experience if you're not buying into those aspects of it. So now you feel tempted to buy it in that regard. But in addition, they're not going to give you that really cool, like, skin with the cool special effects on your armor that makes your character look super flashy and neat. They're not giving that to you unless you pay for it. That's why battle passes are locked in the way that they are, where you clearly see all the cool premium things and you have to look at them in order to look at the free unlocks that they give you, because it's psychologically manipulative and it makes you feel like you're getting less of an experience, because you are getting less of an experience, because a lot of these things would have normally just been included in the game.
Well, I think
A lot of
Fortnite,
them normally, yeah.
I think
But
you
it's
can't
optional.
really. I don't think Fortnite is a fair. Fortnite's a special case because it is a little predatory, in my opinion, because that game is mostly played by children. Who don't control
Like I
purse
said.
strings.
Exactly.
And
So,
his parents don't control their wallets or something like that.
so
Okay,
that's different. But when you're talking about more games that are like catering towards adults, of course kids play them too, right? But that's different. I just think that adults have choices. And like it, and the other argument here is the fact that you may play let's say we both play Call of Duty, right? Let's say that you open it once a month, you play for 2 or 3 hours with your friends, and then that's it, right? But then there's somebody like me who plays it 3 to 5 times a week, all the time, right? Like, I'm in there, I'm grinding, I'm doing whatever. So, like, you don't have to buy those things because you're not in there that often. You feel less pressure, whatever the case may be. But if I'm in there all the time, I may not want to look at the exact same thing all the time, right? Like, I want to be able to characterize or customize my player the way I want, because my time is spent there. So my money could be spent there. I bought the game, that's fine. But now I spend a lot of time there, so I want to be able to have access to those things. So it's like, I just think you can't categorize everybody who opens Call of Duty and plays it and says, and I'm just using Call of Duty as an example, it's any game that has this, right? But like, where you choose to spend your time is where you're going to spend your money, full stop, right? And there's nothing wrong with that idea, in the sense that if you're one of those people who really literally only plays Call of Duty all year long, what does it matter if you're buying the extra skins or buying whatever, right? Because that's your love, that's your passion, that's what you want to do. And then they've brought these, some ridiculous and some authentic looking or fun, like skins, and you choose what you feel is valuable to your own account, right? So that's where I disagree with what but I know what you're saying about like the FOMO of it, but you have to separate like games intended towards children and games like, because that's predatory, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other side of it too, I
children
guess,
now.
for me is I have trouble in my head piecing together. Like, you're here saying like, well, I spend a lot of time, which is that's true, right? You spend a lot of time playing this game, and you said it really well. Where you spend your time is where you spend your money, right? I was just at my real full-time job today, and they were talking about how there's like these sewing machines that are coming out from Brother, company Brother, and I don't know if this is illegal for me to say actually, but it might be proprietary inside information. But
We have
anyway,
a lot of sellers in the chat.
yeah, so it's a lot of sellers. But anyway, so like this really the conversation pivoted to really expensive, really like tens of thousands of dollars for hobbyist equipment, and these aren't like professionals; these are hobbyists that will spend this money on these products. So I get what you're saying. I think in my head I have trouble piecing together why, like, if I'm coming to you and saying, well, these are things that used to be offered for free, these are things that you shouldn't have to pay for, there's no reason why a company like Activision or any of these live service companies that are making buttloads of money on it, which a lot of live service games fail, but any of the ones that we know of that are making really good money, a lot of that is due to the microtransactions, I understand. But you look at a title, Call of Duty is a great example because they charge you for the game. Then they also charge you for things like the Battle Pass. And they charge you $20 for a single skin that was made by AI. But these are all things that a company like Activision does not need to charge you for. Period. Like, objectively, they do not need to charge you for any of this. They can offer it for free, and Activision will still be perfectly fine. And, like, Bobby Kotick, when he was CEO, will still be flying around in his private jet with his $5600 million paycheck at the end of every year, right? Like, Activision is perfectly fine, and they don't need to charge you $20 for a skin. So I have a hard time parsing together in my brain why somebody is like, well, I don't mind spending the money. Like, I really wish that the conversation would pivot to, no, we really should hold these companies to a higher standard. Like, I shouldn't have to spend this money. I've put 300 hours into this game. Give me the goddarn freaking skin. Like, don't charge, or if you're gonna give it to me for $2 because an artist spent the time on this. Like,
I know where he's coming from. He's coming from the whole standard of. You're coming from the stance of. I don't mind paying for this. Yeah, but you shouldn't have to. You've already invested
There's
hours
no
and hours
logical universe
on this game.
where people should be saying, "Hey, Activision, I'll spend more money. Like, please, come in right here. This is the entrance. Money. Like, there's no universe where that is a logical thing for me. I don't understand why people are so willing to give money to these gigantic, massive conglomerates, that most of these executives that are the ones behind these decisions that are charging you $20 for these skins are making more money than a lot of us will ever see in our entire life, besides maybe Lotus. So, like, there's no reason why we should be sitting here saying this is perfectly fine.
Oh man.
It's not. It's in my mind, and I, honest to goodness, mean this, because ultimately, like, you guys are saying, well, I spend a lot of time here, so it's perfectly fine, and I understand that logic, but why wouldn't you? If you can have something given to you for free, why would you not want to take it for free and instead say, well, I spend a lot of time here, so here you go, Activision, please take my money, here you go, it's only $30. Like,
Joe Pesci? Is that you?
I don't understand the mentality. Like, I get it, but I don't. I do get it. Like, I understand, Holly, where you're coming from, but I don't. Because again, to reiterate for my own sanity, if the option was to get all of these things that you're getting, but not have to pay for them, why would you still support paying for them? There you go.
Well, that's something for chat to think about.
And a rant.
And yeah, no, dude, I love how passionate you are. By the way, it's so good, dude. Seriously, I love it. I just want to make sure everyone understands here. And this poll. Oh, I lost the poll. The poll disappeared. Oh, there we go. There we go. How many people eat pizza a lot? 42% is just on occasion. 35% of people eat it a lot. And only 7% is gluten-free only. Come on, guys. Come on. But that's only 14 people. Shout out to everyone in chat. I really, really appreciate you guys. Again, I'm going to keep saying it because I mean it. Love you guys. Questions? Hey, oh, man. So this is in the Q&A here. Jax82, I don't know if you're still here, but Jax82 says, any advice on Stalker? There's a tunnel with electricity, and there's nothing telling me how to clear it, but it's part of a quest on the map. So in Stalker, you want to use your weapon wheel, take out you get a little screw that you can throw at anomalies, especially electricity anomalies, that will make them disperse. And so that way you can run through them and they won't deal as much damage. But if some tunnels with electricity, you just sort of have to time it right because they'll go back and forth. And you have to wait and jump on a thing and then wait for it to pass again. Just be very patient. Save scum that game so hard, but do not save before you... Don't ever save while you're inside of an area unless you know that everything is dead, because... For the amount of times that I've been like, I'm just going to save right now, and then I turn, boom, and I'm just dead. I'm like, well, that's going to be so fun to load back all the time and die. It's the best. So
Bethesda games, to be honest.
Yeah, or like save while you're falling. You're like, why did I just fucking do that? Shit. But most games now won't even let you save unless you're on ground. So Jax82, I'm sorry I didn't see that. I put the Q&A up and didn't even see it. Yodani Kazada asks, Chalupa, normal, or supreme? What do you think, Assassin?
Normal. Okay. Well, it depends. What typically Supreme from where I am, and I'm only an hour away from Dudani. Supreme, is it just sour cream and tomatoes and onions, or is it just the sour cream? Like, is there extra meat in it? What exactly does it?
Any Mexican food without sour cream. I have to have
bread.
some.
You can't do any food. All you basically eat is milk. And bread.
Well,
gluten-free bread and salad.
Gluten-free bread and salads is what I eat a lot
That's
of.
all you eat. You can't eat anything.
I know, it's like, well, I do eat sandwiches and stuff.
You'd be a fun guest on Gordon Ramsay's shows. You can't basically eat anything.
He can't even call me a donut. He's gonna call me a gluten-free donut. Hey, Damarco,
no, you're gonna be a gluten-free idiot sandwich.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Damarco. Chalupa, supreme, or normal?
No flipping clue what that is.
You don't know what chalupa is? It's a type of dog.
He's in New York. Don't worry about it, Holly.
Okay, Holly, you like chalupas?
I only eat authentic Mexican food here, and chalupas aren't really on that menu.
Oh, so you're talking about like full on, like
we
tacos.
We have a very large Hispanic population in Chicago, and like I live in an area where the next couple towns over are all like nobody speaks English. It's all like fresh tacos from like the stand, you know, kind of like hand tacos and all that stuff. So yeah. So regular, I guess. Or standard or whatever it was that he said. Yeah.
Well, if you come down here to Texas, it's going to be a completely different
have
atmosphere.
Tex-Mex taco, right? Like it's more Tex-Mex there.
Yeah, Tex-Mex and barbecue are pretty much the staples of Texas cuisine. It's basically the family machismo, the feeling of being at home with your extended family as you eat an entire feast. That's basically what cuisine is here in Texas. Even at fast food restaurants, you get that feeling here. I don't know how, but you do. Anyway, next question, Red.
Okay.
Because I have a topic.
Yeah, we're not getting to the rest. Noise Mofo says, where did Red Wolf originate? Oh, I've said this. I'll answer this all the time. For people who don't know, my name comes from The Witcher. Okay, so The Witcher, people always call Geralt of Rivia the White Wolf. And so during the time that I was going back and returning to The Witcher, I had just finished Red Dead Redemption 2, which essentially became like my favorite game of all time besides Mass Effect and The Witcher. So you have Red from Red Dead 2, you have Wolf from The Witcher, and of course, as I mentioned, Mass Effect being my favorite IP of all time, you have a choice between Renegade and Paragon. So there you go. Red, Wolf, Renegade. There you go. There you go. A little history there. It's so weird not having sound bites. Damn it, Assassin. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, hey, look, Jake says, what was the first thing you did after stepping through the Unity? Oh, I started a new game, actually, is what I did. Because I didn't want to... We're talking about Starfield. I started a new game because I didn't want to live in that... I didn't want to live in that universe. Whenever I played Starfield, I really just kind of wanted to get through the main stories. That way I didn't get anything spoiled for me. I wanted to make sure that I got that done in my own time. Put like 50 some hours into it by the time that I beat the main story. And I was like, okay, now that this is done, I know that this exists with New Game Plus. I'm just going to step away, start a new game. And that's what I did. Yeah, I started a new game. Did anyone else beat Starfield's main quest? Fantastic.
Nope.
All right, great. All right, well, there it is. Okay, let me get back to the main chat here. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at this. Thank you so much. Why is it so hard for me to read? The AEC, it's really bright. Sorry, the AEC founder, Vic. Okay, Vic, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. They say, what's up, ladies? That's it. What's up, ladies? Yes. So basically, they're just talking to...
Holly Multiply or something?
To Holly, yeah.
No, he's talking to all you guys.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, Donnie Gazada, thank you so much, bro. Yeah, for $5 super chat, man, you don't have to do that. Shit, you don't have to do that. Yeah, Donnie says, Red got his name by using the leftover wolf adjectives at the elemental hero the Shadowly Dragon Wolf King didn't use. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'll take whatever he's got left. That's funny. That's funny. I love that.
A good
I
one.
love that. Yeah. There was
Origin
something else
story,
I
if I'm
wanted
being
to,
honest.
and sorry, guys, this has been, this show tonight has been like exactly what the show is all about. Just sort of we have stuff to talk about. We have topics to get to, but we're not going to get to them. We're just hanging out and the show is really just meant to be.
Won't take very long, Red.
This show is just really just meant to be a hanging out with friends and just organic conversation, organic discussion and conversation that we're not going to take very seriously. So thank you all so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Shout out to Lotus Esprit for the gifted channel memberships. Really appreciate that. Vic and Yadani Kazada for the 2 super chats. Thank you guys so much. Assassin, what is the topic that you want to close on?
I mean, it's just going to be a pretty simple, quick one. I mean, if you guys saw on Twitter earlier today.
It's the best. Kind of.
Okay.
Well, come on. Do me.
Okay. Is he talking to me?
Yeah, come on, quickie. Yeah, fuck.
Okay.
I forgot to change your... listen, we're 2 hours into the show, and I forgot to change your fucking thing again. It's there. It is, the pink, with the stupid-ass pink fucking thing with your little-ass head in the middle of it. Get a fucking camera, Assassin. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's the topic?
No, I'm not... Shut the fuck up. Anyway.
Please continue.
So Microsoft...
We should end on why Assassin should get a camera.
No, we should not end on that.
Great topic.
We need to have an intervention.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why do we have to have an intervention for this?
That would be a good topic.
Why? How
everyone in
did it get
chat,
to this?
how many in chat want Assassin to see how beautiful Assassin is?
No one's gonna want me on camera. Shut up.
All right.
Everyone
is going to want you on camera.
Well, too bad, because it's not happening.
Besides one person who's going to be sarcastic about it, be like, I don't. And
it's probably going to be Yodani, if I'm being honest. Can I get to my topic now?
There it is.
We're running short on time. Okay. So, Playground Games opened up a 3rd studio, just out of the blue. They opened a few years ago. I think it was like 2008, 2009. I can't remember. Then they opened a 2nd studio, 2017. We both know, or we all know, they're building Forza Horizon and Fable. So, what do you guys think? Is this 3rd studio going to do like a new IP? Are they going to be a support studio? Are they finally going to fulfill Paris's wish and make Banjo on the Forza Tech engine? What do you guys think?
I would say with them opening up a studio in the middle of however far along they are with Fable, we've seen Fable, it looks great. I would say that internally, that what their expectations are now versus what they were before Fable started, they have much more faith in the studio to do to expand their genre other than just having a racing game, essentially. So I think that this studio opening up is showing that they are building a pedigree that will show when Fable releases, if that makes any sense.
I think Playground should do Banjo, if I'm being honest. Have them jump genres again. Just for the fuck of it.
They did sort of get like the Insomniac thing, didn't they? Like Insomniac went off and built the Spider-Man game. And everyone's like,
That's a
Well,
really good
Insomniac
comparison.
was
dude. That's a great
Insomniac
comparison.
did Ratchet, which is a platformer. Then they did Resistance, which was a first-person shooter, and then they went to Spider-Man. So
No,
yeah, to be,
yeah,
I
I don't.
Wait,
I don't
are
think
you thinking
Resistance
about?
Resistance didn't get the same acclaim though. If correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, I know it
was
didn't
like-
get the same acclaim, but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is Insomniac is pretty fluid when it comes to jumping genres. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
Oh,
pretty
okay,
fluid
gotcha.
at it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So like, if there was one studio, and to be honest, I don't know why any of us didn't think that Playground would be great for Banjo, considering, I mean, look how beautiful the engine is, and they've already jumped genres once. Why can't they do it again? But I don't know. I just food for thought.
Is them jumping genres them doing Fable?
Yeah, they went from Forza Horizon, which is a racer, to Fable, which is a fantasy RPG.
Yeah, but we don't know. Like, Fable looks great, but I would still like. I'm fully behind Fable and what Playground's doing with it from what we've seen so far. But I would still just like, before we start going around and saying like, hey,
I
Playground
know.
is great.
Err on the side of caution.
Playground can swap and. Well, Playground can swap genres, and they could bounce between all these different styles. I would just say, hey, let's pump the brakes a bit. Let's just.
Okay,
Pump it,
fine. Whatever you say.
Yeah, Holly,
It's just a dream. Holly.
What? Sorry, there was a whole bunch of talk at the same
I
time,
know,
so I
and
didn't
I'm like,
hear that.
"Holly!"
Sorry.
What do you think? Assassin, ask Holly the question because I've lost. I'm lost.
I was just gonna. Holly, what do you think about this third new studio Playground is building up, and why Microsoft didn't allow this but didn't allow Arcanos and Nintendo to stay alive?
Again, those are two separate conversations. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. But I think that they are ramped up for Fable, for all hands on deck to make sure that it hits that 2025. I think IDOS Montreal is helping with it too, so there's a lot of hands on this. And then, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Everwild. It would be nice to know if that game is alive. I think somewhat recently, right? We got some signs of life, but I'm assuming that you wouldn't just open this third studio to help finish Fable and then shutter it again. So I think they have some plans for something after that, or to really like rush development on Everwild and Forza Horizon 6. Don't forget that that's close too.
All right. First of all, real quick, just let me get this. So thank you so much to Matthew, for the $12. I don't know what that symbol is. Is it pounds?
Pound
It's a pound.
or a
12
euro?
pounds.
Euro. It's euro.
Euros.
Sorry.
Yeah. Thank
Euro.
you so much, Madge. I really appreciate that, man. The support is everything. Hopefully it's a glimpse into the future. I mean, maybe one day I'll be able to do this full time and actually like my job, entertaining and having a fun time with people like you in chat. Thank you so much. Cody Swimmett. Thank you. You know what? Stop. $20 super chat, man. Thank you so much. He says, shout out to the Penetrate Helm podcast. Love you guys. There you go. Welcome everybody to the Penetrate Helm podcast. That rolls off the tongue. It does. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Colt. It's ridiculous. Anyway. What? Oh, hey, let me end this poll here. Hey, look at that. Assassin, sorry, you lost. Get a camera.
What do you mean I lost?
You lost. Everyone,
What?
literally everyone wants you to
You
get
put it in a poll?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Oh,
Put you
hey.
on a poll.
Put you on a poll, baby. Speaking of,
Oh.
speaking Assassin of being on a poll, Yadani Gazada asks, Assassin, would you rather get crushed by Rhea Ripley's thighs or solid snakes? Snake.
What?
And if you've ever seen The Boys, you have an idea of what that could look like.
Damarco,
this
can
a
you
hard-
answer this?
Is this a hard
It was a
question?
question for you.
Yeah, it's
I'm passing it to you.
no, doesn't work like that. Rhea Ripley crushing you, or solid snake's snake.
Depends what part they're crushing me. What? Why are we?
Okay,
Why?
all right,
Why?
we'll twist this. If you could be crushed, if one part of you could be crushed happily, what would it be, and who would do it?
Just Scarlett
could say.
Johansson? I don't know.
No. Rhea Ripley or solid snakes?
I guess Rhea Ripley. I don't. Rhea Ripley. I guess.
Okay,
I don't
alright,
know.
What is she? So now you're gonna answer. What is she gonna crush?
He's nuts.
my what? I don't fucking
Okay,
know.
hey, listen, that's
What
that's
is
all you have to
this?
say, man. That's all you have to
What
say.
is this?
There you go. There you go. Thanks for being honest.
What is
That's all.
happening?
Listen, you're welcome, Assassin. Assassin, you know you're on the Renegade Realm podcast. This is par for the course. Oh my god, I love it. I just love it so much.
More like the Penetrate Hub podcast.
The Penetrate Helm podcast. American Fury says, take a look at Rhea Ripley and get back to me. She's always the correct answer. Yeah. Colt says, Assassin trying to figure out his orientation live on the show.
Gold at 26. I think I would know my orientation by this point. I was just
God.
dumbfounded as to why this is a question. Why was it aimed at me?
Late bloomers are a
That
thing.
question.
I know
That
Late
question should
bloomers.
have been.
Yep.
That question should have been directed to DeMarco, not me.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
No, it should have been directed to you.
It was
Why?
It was 100%.
Why? Because I'm not on camera?
It should have been directed.
Yes.
No, just it should have been directed to you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You think too much about it.
Colt says, I'm married. I'm still trying to figure out mine. I added in the I'm married part. I'm married with kids and I still don't understand. See, look.
It'd be funny if his wife was in the room with him and she heard that.
He just turns around and there's like a dark silhouette looming in the doorway with the back. Anyway. All right. Assassin Entertainment is Assassin Sexual. I love that. That's so funny. Confused, says Matt Metcher. Oh, man. Hey,
What the fuck?
this is great. DeMarco, what do you, in your mind, like, with the first thing, if I said, you have a refrigerator, you have cabinets, and they all got food in it, what's the first thing you're going to eat when you get off this podcast? Ooh.
Pulled
Salad.
pork.
Yo, you got pulled
Pulled pork
pork
sandwich.
ready?
Pulled pork sandwich.
Ready to go? You got pulled pork in your fridge?
Yeah.
What? Dude, that sounds dope. All right. That makes me want a pulled pork sandwich. All right.
Love pulled pork sandwich.
Matthew says, my mom says, don't get married. Yeah, marriage. I'm married. Kablam! Martin Lawrence. I don't get that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't get it.
This is so off the rail.
I love it.
It was off the rails as soon as he read that question to me. Can we end it?
Great. Anyway, Jacob Tupois says someone here got their pork pulled one too many times. Listen,
That would be red.
it's never too many times. Let me tell you. Thank you, Jacob Tupois. Yadani says we have gas stations in Texas with better pulled pork sandwiches than most of the country's entire states do. Yeah, Yeah, I mean that's just like the.
Definitely better than mine.
That is
definitely
true.
better
Go to
than mine.
Buc-ee's. Go to Buc-ee's. They have great pulled pork sandwiches. And sausage on a stick. And a tortilla.
I like Cubans. You got good Cubans in Texas?
Of course we do. What kind of question is that?
You
I'm
mean
just
like
wondering.
people, like Cuban people?
Yeah, of course. No, the sandwich.
The sandwich. Okay, that's what I was
A
like. Is
Cuban
that a
sandwich.
thing? I don't know.
Oh,
I love that.
sandwich. Love Cubans.
Holly, is that a metal straw?
Huh?
Is that a metal straw?
It is.
Whoa, dude. Whoa, what kind of, is that a
Metal
themed
cup too.
lemon? Oh, look at that. Look, when life gives you lemons. Remember that meme? I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Don't make lemonade.
Wonderful.
Make life take the lemons back.
Okay, Colt.
Do they have cameras?
Okay.
Are there? Yeah, exactly. It's hard. It's hard to.
You
Listen,
know the
everyone,
irony about that conversation?
Yeah, go ahead.
My girlfriend was trying to convince me to get on camera.
Yeah, which you.
We got 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes instead of blundering through whatever nonsense this is. Are you guys? Are any of you excited for? Are any of you just quickly? Are any of you? When life gives you lemons, pull your pork.
Jacob, do what?
So
Oh,
funny.
guys, I love you, Jacob.
Are any of you
What?
excited for Star Wars Outlaws?
I think it's Hawk Tua.
I'm so sick of that girl.
I was before, but that gameplay, Jesus H. Christ, it looks wrong. I'll
Isn't
just
that
play
funny?
Visions
Yeah.
of Mana
Isn't
instead.
that funny how I made the thumbnail about Star Wars Outlaws and never fucking talked about it? Yeah.
Yeah. I wish we could go longer, but Damarco gets the hungries.
Because I listened to ACG because he had the early preview of it, and it was half on. I was half listening, but it sounded like he liked it.
Yeah.
Cowboy
if I got-
did one too.
Cowboy did one. Yeah, I would check that out as well. But did he like it? Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it. I had some other stuff going on while I was listening. I didn't watch too much, but it sounded like he liked it. He said that the missions and the side stuff were not repetitive like Ubisoft traditionally repetitive stuff. He said it was kind of refreshing.
Okay.
He said that if he did
That's
all
good
of
for
that
Ubisoft.
though, it would be like an 80 to 100 part playthrough. So, a walkthrough, like if he was going to do a walkthrough for it. So he said it was too long of a game to do that for 100% content, of course, right? To do every single thing.
Right.
It didn't sound like he was like. Sorry.
I was just saying, so Ubisoft remembers how to make great games? Good to know. Keep going.
Well, it's massive, and massive makes the division, and so massive is awesome. But
Fair.
It sounded like he enjoyed it. It didn't sound like he was like, whoa, this game, you know what I mean? But
Kind of like
enough-
the Frontiers of Pandora situation I'm expecting personally.
enough to enjoy it, and not
Yeah.
be like, what a crap game, right?
Holly.
Hmm.
You may know this since I obviously don't. Is this Massive's first time attempting an actual single player game, not one where it has like MMO elements like Division? Or have they made single player games before?
No, I think they did single player before, but let me look it up. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I said this on Twitter before. Black Myth Wukong's not getting physical, so I'm not getting that. Star Wars
They did-
Outlaws has been pretty mixed, so Visions of Mana.
It looks like they worked on Far Cry 3. They worked on Assassin's Creed Revelations, and they did support Avatar. Ground Control 2.
Wait, they supported Avatar or they made it?
Well, it looks like they supported. I don't know
And
that
who?
they made.
And who the hell did that game? Jesus.
I don't know.
Ubisoft has like 70 mini studios inside of it, so.
Hmm.
Yeah. Why, Mark, are
Anyway,
you?
so Massive has good pedigree. Like, plus the Division's awesome, and I don't care. I never speak a bad word about Massive.
I'm more excited for Division 3, but that's just me.
Yes.
Massive, please get on that, please, because I need another Division in my life. Anyway.
Okay. Hey, real quick, thank you so much. Lotus Esprit just gifted a channel membership to none other than American Fury. That is awesome. Finally, he got it. Thank you. Memberships are live. So guys, if you're not a member, you can go in and you can get early access to videos. After 2 months of being a member, a paid member, you'll get access to the Discord, which I'm working that out behind the scenes on a spreadsheet, making sure everything is nice and smooth. So the Discord will just essentially just connect everyone, and we'll have different channels there. So after 2 months of being a member, that's whenever that will happen. So if you're a paid member, then you'll get that. Right now, there is the first channel membership video up right now. So whenever this podcast ends here in just a few minutes, you can go check out the Stalker 2 video that I put up. And please just go and just check it out. Drop a like on it. Videos take a long time. It's the only thing other than the podcast that it's so much work, and I love doing it, but it's always such a risk. You spend hours and hours editing a video, and just to get nothing out of it. So it's all up to you guys to help support that, to help the channel grow, and yeah.
At least your video got uploaded, Red.
What is it?
At least your video got uploaded and your computer didn't crash.
That's
all
true.
Of my,
so you don't have recovery. You don't have recovery.
I'd have to start from scratch, and I've already done 3 minutes. I had to cut down 2 hours to 10 minutes.
That's
work.
So fucked.
I know.
I'm sorry, bro. It sucks. Anyway, I just wanted to shout out. Thank you so much, Lotus, for the support as always, and everyone so much for the support as always. Real quick, Star Wars Outlaws. I'm not interested. It's just a Star Wars game that's just not for me. The main character is, I'll be honest, it really just is my turn off point. Like, it's just not a character made for me. She's happy and funny and silly and quirky and quippy and stuff like that, and it's just not the type of Star Wars character and vibe that I wanted to go with. I feel like the older that I get, the Star Wars stuff that I look for is something more akin to Jedi Survivor. It's a little darker. It has its fun moments and stuff, but the Jedi games are darker. I mean, they're really like effed up, like a lot of the stuff, and I just love that stuff. And this one just seems like it looks like a lot of fun. Like, it looks like a great game, like technically, feature-wise, technical side of the video game. It's great, but I just don't feel like the main character is. It's just not for me. I can't see myself getting immersed as that character. So that's all.
So what you're saying is Massive sucks.
No, Massive is amazing. Massive is amazing. But
damn right.
Yeah. Holly, did you speak on Outlaws? I was letting Finn out.
Yeah, no, I just talked about. Sorry, Damarco, I kind of absconded your thing. He was talking about ACG, talking about his impressions, and then I just told him about what Fighting Cowboy put a video out today, and he had some gameplay. Just let the gameplay play at the end of his video. So if you don't necessarily care about his impressions but want to see some gameplay, he put some on the back end of his video that came out today. I've been back and forth about it. I was excited about it, and then I kind of was like, Then I got excited. Like, now I'm getting a little more interested in it again. Like I said, I do really love Massive, so I kind of want to support it. But at the same time, man, it comes out like 5-6 days before Astrobot, and I am hands down playing Astrobot when it comes out.
The controller?
I'm gonna get that controller. It's the first PlayStation edition, special edition controller. I'm putting it on my Best Buy credit card. I don't care.
It is so freaking cute. I love it.
That's awesome.
It is. But anyway, the timing is just bad on it. And unfortunately for Ubisoft, it's very well known that their games go on sale like a month after they come out, right? So with Black Friday coming up not too long after this game comes out, I might just wait and buy it on a sale. But I would really like to get it when it comes out, but we'll see.
Okay.
I can't wait to finally play Alan Wake 2 later this year when it comes out physical. Finally.
Finally, that game's amazing. By the way, I'm so glad that you played Assassin.
The first one.
Way, before, yes, and I'm gonna remind me to send you a video. Before that you need to watch before you play Alan Wake 2, and it will elevate that game so much. I promise you, it is.
Do I have to?
Yes, I enjoyed watching this video. That's like feature length video on YouTube more than I liked even playing Alan Wake 1. I was like, oh my god, this is like watching like a documentary, like mystery documentary by Hidden Machine, is a YouTuber, and he does this breakdown of the Alan Wake universe, of the Remedyverse, before you play Alan Wake 2, and it is so well done. It's amazing. Anyway, fantastic. All right, and I just wanted to give a shout out, everyone. If you haven't already, hit the like button. It helps a lot, I guess. I don't know. I never ask anyone to hit the like button because usually every time I look, the amount of people that are in the chat is the amount of likes that we have, and I appreciate it so much. I know it's cliche to say, but I really could not ask for a better chat in a community. And everyone's always here. They're so nice and they're funny, and they jive with our nonsense, our absurdity, as Jonas would say. Jonas isn't here today. I felt something was off. Something's off in the Fulls.
Arcane Realm here either.
Where's our little Norseman?
Yeah, we need our Norseman and our Arcaneman in chat. But
where's our lead outsider?
But I seriously mean it when I say I really, really appreciate everyone and all the support. It's really life changing, and I'm not being hyperbolic at all. It's a whole thing that eventually I will be able to put into more words without wasting time on a podcast. But I really do appreciate you guys so much. And with that, Assassin, where can people find you, and where will you be getting chalupas?
I'll be getting chalupas at Chewy's.
Is that a real
nice
thing?
little. Yes, it actually is a real thing.
Oh,
I'll probably get it when I go into town later this week, but as far as where you can find me on Twitter at Assassin52. You can also find me on I think I got that backwards. But either way, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter. Links are in the description. I'll actually be streaming the demo for Visions of Mana at about 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are interested, if you want to see what the game is like without having to buy it, go ahead and look in the description and just give a follow. Like I said, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So about an hour and a half, so that should be enough time for everybody to get something in their bellies for dinner.
That's great, dude. Yeah, everyone right now, if you can, in a new tab, go into the description below, click on Assassin's YouTube channel, his Twitter, well, all of it, and give him a follow. Assassin, I never say this, but I'm going to say it now. You do not get enough credit for your knowledge of the gaming industry and just your insight in general. And I just want to say I really appreciate you having I really appreciate having you here on the podcast as I have a stroke. I just want to say that in front of everyone as your
Thanks,
father.
Red. It means a lot.
Thank you. Do you really mean that, or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm actually tearing up a little bit.
Aw, out of your eyes?
Yeah, huh?
You'd see if you were on camera.
I can see.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Okay. Enough.
All right.
I'll-
So,
Please
a Damarco. What you drinking?
Or DeMarco. Wada baby. Find me, Damarco Dude, on YouTube and Twitter. Hang out with me in those spots. I tweet about things sometimes and stuff.
Yes. And we had such a great debate. It was great. We never get to yell and scream and cuss at each other like we just did like we did on tonight's show, Damarco. It was great. It was great. I loved it. So thank you for that.
What happened while I was gone?
Yes. Aw.
What the hell happened?
That's weird. All right. Holly, where, thank you, and where are you? Why are you? When are you?
Yeah, I am that blue number everywhere, which everybody knows. It's fine. And on Friday nights at 7 Central, which is 8 Eastern, I'm on the Infinite podcast. I'll only be on for a short time this week because I'm going to a concert Friday night. And
What? Who are you seeing?
Cannons, who I love. I'm
I have
so
no
excited.
idea who that is.
Oh my gosh. Cannons.
I'm sure I do, but who's a song? Give me a
It's
song.
amazing. I'll send you a link to one, but
Okay.
Literally you could look up any song Cannons does and you will follow them because they are
Okay.
amazing. It's super. I actually have like three or four concerts I have bought over time that all are coming up in the next couple months.
That's so
anyway,
exciting.
this is my first one. I'm
love that.
really excited about.
It's your
seeing
first
Cannons. So,
concert?
yes, it's my first concert ever.
Girl, you...
No.
Shit.
No,
Oh my God,
it's
that's amazing. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so excited.
cannon, like fire a cannon, Yodani.
Oh my God.
Cannons.
The GAN says I saw the Roots last weekend. Freaking incredible show. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna go see AFI. What? They're still alive? No, I'm just kidding. AFI. If anyone doesn't know, that's
I don't even know what that is.
Hey Miss Murder, can I? It's that was their one that they blew up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, what you do to me? That one.
No, that's Hey there,
That's what it sounds
Delilah.
like.
What's it like in New York City? I'm gonna get
Oh.
demonetized if I keep on singing. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Oh, what a thrill. Yeah, great. That's really exciting. That's awesome. What a wild show. I lived up, I hope the show lived up to my expectations. Toxic Buttwind. I'm seeing Limp Bizkit in mid-August. Can't wait. That's fucking awesome.
He's doing it for the Nookie.
For the Nookie, right, yes. I love
That's why he's
that.
going. I just watched them do Lollapalooza in Argentina on YouTube. It popped up and I was like, okay. And I clicked on it and West Borland, like, the one. No.
West Borland?
West Borland, he's the guitar. I think he plays bass. He had on, because like I said, they were in Argentina. He had on this like full white, like suit with Mexican art. And he always had like the black contacts in, and he did weird stuff, like wore interesting things, right? And he had this like full face mask on that had this like wild. So cool. I'll shut up. Sorry. But you should go. If you're going to see them, you should look at that. You should look at that YouTube video from Lala. Because it was hella cool. And Fred
just
Durst's
look at it?
got this big white beard and looks like a skinny Santa. And you can just look at it. You can point at your TV and say, would you look at that?
Would you look at this? Every single time that I go to a show, I go, would you look at that? Would you just look at it? I got my earplugs in. I say, would you look at this? Toxic Buttwind, Toxic
Can't listen
Starfish.
to it, but I could look at it.
But I can look at it. Exactly. Great Monad, what's up, bro? He says, my last concert was Metallica about 13 years ago. That's awesome. I saw my favorite band, if anyone doesn't know, my favorite band is Disturbed, which might add up to my absolute unfiltered hyperactivity. But yeah, Disturbed is my favorite band of all time. And I went and finally saw them after being a fan for like 20 years, and it was amazing. And I was yelling up out on the stage. I was like, David, I love you! So anyway.
And I was like, Emilio!
Emilio! And you would not believe. And he went like this. Yeah. So anyway, guys, whenever the show ends, if you don't mind to go and check out the members, if you're a member, go ahead and check out the video, drop a like, and leave a comment. Leave a comment. You can say that you hate the video. I don't care. Just leave a comment on this podcast. Leave a comment on that video, and it helps a lot. Engagement is huge. Much more important than even leaving the like button. Apparently, I don't know. Listen, we love you guys so much, and we will see you guys next week. Goodbye, everyone.
I
have no sound bites.